Alright, so some simple math. Darius II begins his reign in 423 BC. 6 years later, the temple is completed in 417 BC. From 417 BC starts your 490-year count. And when we scroll all the way down, we'll see that that takes us to 74 AD when the war ended. In 68 AD, at the end of the 483 years, Nero takes his own life. The anointed king will be cut off and they desert him and his followers. Then the 7-year war, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years happens. For 490 years, no gap in the Bible. Let's look at the scriptures. It was the first year that Darius was the king of Babylonia. Most mistakenly put this as Darius the Great, but there was no Darius after Artaxerxes or Artaxerxes, who this is. He was from Media and was the son of Artaxerxes, and he began reign in 423 BC. You can also see in the Apocrypha that it said it was about 400 years to Christ from the time of Ezra. And so this makes more sense that Daniel and Ezra were contemporaries and that the Apocrypha has some truth to it, if not all true. Anyhow, that's a side note. The next verse we want to look at is Ezra 6:15. So the temple was completed on the 3rd day of the month of Adar. It was the 6th year that Darius was the king. So as we mentioned earlier, that was 417 BC. And it's not just the order that starts the count, as Cyrus, Artaxerxes, and Darius all had given orders, but the count starts when it's made like new again. And let's take a look at that scripture. We find that in Daniel 9:25, where it says, "Here's what I want you to know and understand. There will be 7 weeks and there will be 62 weeks, so a total of 69. The 7 weeks will begin when an order is given to rebuild Jerusalem and make it like new again." So that's when you start your count, when it's been made like new again. At the end of the 62 weeks, the anointed king, Nero, will come. Jerusalem will have streets and a water system when it is rebuilt, but that will be done in times of trouble. So there you have that. And let's look at Daniel 9:26. After the 62 weeks, the anointed king, Nero, takes his own life and is cut off. His followers deserted him while he took his own life, and everything he has will be taken away from him. The army of the ruler, or the ruler of the army, Titus, who came and destroyed the city and the temple, the end will come like a flood, and a war will continue until the end. So it's the whole war, not till the war ends, that's the end of the 490 weeks. The Lord has ordered that many places will be destroyed. And then in verse 27, the covenant put into effect for 1 week, the 7-year war. In the middle of the week, the sacrifice and the offerings will come to an end because the temple was destroyed. The one part of the temple hated that thing that destroys will be set up, the army, and it will remain until the Lord brings the end of these orders. So the army remained until 74 AD when the 490 weeks were completed. I hope this makes sense. As always, love you lots. PGF Racing out. Have a great day.